Hi, Trevor here, reflecting on life through music. Thank you for stopping by. Well, I trust you enjoyed my last video on Idol Killer, and through the song Breakaway, we looked about the bits of life that no longer do us any favours, so I trust you found that one encouraging. Well, we're going on to sex, drugs and rock and roll today, absolutely. The story started in 1967, Ann Arbor, Michigan. James Ostenberg travelled up to Chicago just to see what was happening in that amazing city, and he thought, hey, there's some pretty good blues stuff happening up here. What about if we put that with a bit of a rock and see what happens? And so he travelled back home and he got together with Sam Lay, Ron Asheton, Scott Asheton, Dave Alexander, and formed the Stooges. Now, I know last time I said I was going to do Iggy Pop, well, it's a classic case of when you look into somebody's story a little bit more, you realise that his start started with this band, and this band is extremely influential. And so I thought I'd better give the Stooges a bit of a go, and we'll go on to Iggy Pop next time. It's classic case. I think we don't know about every artist's story, do we? And you know, it's when you start delving into the stories that you start to realise, hey man, there's a little bit more going on here than just Iggy Pop. So you've got to give where he started a bit of a go too. They started out as the psychedelic Stooges, originally changed their name to Iggy and the Stooges a little bit, painted down the track. These guys are considered the seminal proto-punk band. And what we've actually got here is we've got a band not just playing to the crowd, they're bashing the door down. Absolutely bashing the door down. Iggy Pop is renowned for his very outrageous stage antics, including covering himself with peanut butter, doing stage diving, considered a bit of a pioneer in the whole stage diving off the stage thing. And because of these incredible antics, he got a bit of a following and became quite famous for this reason. And the Stooges, they never really did the same show twice. You never really knew what was going to happen. They would do a show, then they would shake it up, and they'd shake it up even further. And so it was an adventure to go and see these guys, absolutely. And they were absolutely bashing the door down of conventional rock, that is for sure. Out in 1969, their self-titled album, and an album song of that one, I Want to Be Your Dog, considered one of their classics. Live version of that one, just look at the attitude here. Iggy Pop is renowned for not just wearing a shirt, he doesn't wear a shirt on stage, he just does what he does. And so I Want to Do Your Dog, a live version of that one. In around that 1970 period, out came the album Funhouse, and we just got a bit of a compilation live clip, just showing how crazy and wild these guys absolutely were. Iggy Pop, just the indelible frontman, really, in lots of ways. So we just got a bit of a live clip of him going through his paces. There was a temporary breakup at that point. Then there was a meeting with the iconic David Bowie, and this changed Iggy Pop's world forever, absolutely. And David Bowie thought, hey, hang on a minute, I reckon you guys can do something more. Why don't you shake it up a little bit, get a little bit more hard rock, and I reckon you could have a little bit of a go. And it was in 1973, out came the album Punk Raw River. Now this album is a very influential album, absolutely. This has influenced so many bands, including bands such as Metallica, just to name a few. This whole hard rock edge, rock with attitude, it was the Stooges and Iggy Pop that set this whole thing going in the first place. Rock and roll just wasn't, it just wasn't music. This is a vehicle to make your voice heard, absolutely. And so, very much the start of punk rock, absolutely. One reviewer said, this is an experience that is just so overpowering, it's redefined music completely. Now, the song off this album, Search and Destroy, pretty much a classic of the Stooges. We've got a live performance from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction in 2010. Search and Destroy. This is all about, hey girl, I really need you to break through here. I'm, life's, drugs is well and truly part of the Stooges story. I need you to go through this mire and this mess and actually break through, because you know what? It needs to be absolutely huge to do that. I wonder, I wonder about these things called breakthroughs. If they just kind of try to be the same as what they're trying to break through against, it doesn't work, does it? If there's not sufficient power to shake the status quo. The status quo is so embedded and so just part of the world that you've got to go above the status quo to actually break through. And if you've got a bit of a life that is not going so well as well, there might be addictions in there and all sorts of things. Just having someone come alongside you and say, "Hey, it's okay," just try and shake it if you can. Not going to be enough, is it? You've got to have someone actually break through and bash your door down in lots of ways to actually make a difference. And I do wonder, even just general living, we might go through aspects of our life which aren't going so well. There might be depression and anxiety and all the rest of it. And people come alongside us and they just gently try to coax us out of it. I do wonder how that actually goes. Whether there needs to be a little bit more, I suppose, attack, for lack of a better word, utilised to actually break us out of the stupor that we are in. I remember a long time ago in this series, Boom Crash Opera, Get Out of the House. Get out of the house. It's like saying, "Oh, do you want to get out? Maybe you should get out of the house." No, get out of the house. And I think Search and Destroy very much says, "Hey, Lord, girl, I need you to search me. I need you to search every aspect of me. So it's not going so well. And I need you to destroy me. I need you to destroy." Detonate is one of the words that's used in this song. Detonate me. Change me. Get me out of where I'm in. Because because I'm living so hard on the edge, you've got to break through that as well. So Search and Destroy is a great song that looking at this aspect of breaking through. How do we break through in a way that's going to work? How do we break through in a way that's going to be powerful, and it needs to be powerful? How can we break through in a way that's going to be sustainable and long lasting as well? Sometimes we need to crack heads to do this stuff. Now, I'm not advocating, by the way, going out and cracking someone's head. Crack heads in a philosophical sense, and that is, hey, a little bit more than gentleness is needed here. Because, we need to take a bit of a hard line sometimes. Absolutely. And so, if you're coasting through life and thinking, "Oh, whatever," and, life's not going so well perhaps, and you might get the people who come along and gently try to prompt you out of things, you think, "Well, that didn't really work." Are you ready for that next Search and Destroy moment where, "Hey, I really need you to break my life open here because it's not going so well"? And so Iggy Pop had the beautiful way of portraying this message to the world, and that is, "Hey, we're cracking the world open here. It's not just this is just music. This is actually a force of nature." And just think of the album. Just think of the name, Raw Power, unadulterated. Just nothing in the way, power. Sometimes that's what our lives need. And I think the challenge to all of us is, do we have people in our lives who can do that? Maybe we've got to give our permissions. "Hey, look, I'm really challenging. I'm wanting you to actually push all the way here." Instead of the gentle approach, sometimes we need to be a little bit harder than that. And so, whatever you're going through at the moment, I trust that the raw power of the Stooges will actually break through you today as well. As I said, very influential band, the Stooges. Between 1969 and 1973, there was a bit of a break in there, 3 studio albums. And then we go all the way forward to 2007 to 2013, 2 more studio albums. There's been 7 live albums, 24 singles and 5 box sets. Rolling Stone have put this in the top acts of all time in a few of their lists. And they've been inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and I've actually got the induction of the Stooges by the guy from Green Day. So if you want to sort of get really carried away and really into the influence of the band, there's nothing like an induction in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame to do that. The guy does not hold back here. really, really cool induction. So we've got that clip as well. So the links to those, how many got? 1, 2, 3, 4 clips are in the description below, and I've also included my last video from Idle Cure, so if you want to recap on them, feel free. Well, if you come back for another one, this is your first time, the Life Reflections Through Music, how great to see everybody here. As promised, we will go on to Iggy Pop as in his solo ride next time. So until then, I'll catch you around. Bye for now.